What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr. Here at the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special guest in the building today, Mr. Coach Hue Jackson, head coach of the Grambling State Tigers. Coach, how's it going?
It's going great.
Hey, that is awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. Now, Coach Jackson, you guys at Grambling have been doing a lot, but I want to ask you, since you've been there a good amount of time now. You haven't played the games yet, but you've been there a good amount of time. What's it been like for you being the head coach of Grambling so far?
Well, it's been awesome. Obviously, we have our challenges just like everybody else do, but we think we did a great job in recruiting. I think there was a great nucleus of players that was there. Kudos to Coach Fobbs for that. We're going to truly continue to build on that. Our student athletes are getting acclimated to our coaches to our student athletes. We have our freshmen now on campus. It's exciting to see those young faces and all that energy that those guys can bring to the football team and all the talent. So it's been a great off season thus far.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Coach Jackson, I want to take it back a little bit. You've been coaching for a long time now. I mean, from the professional ranks, college ranks, and everything in between. But take me back to when you decided to join Coach Eddie George's staff at Tennessee State. What was that decision like for you? What made you want to get back into the college realm of coaching and making that decision?
It was truly Eddie George. Obviously, Eddie was somebody who I really had a want to get to know type of relationship with. One of the greatest running backs in the history of the league and NFL and in college. To be able to work for somebody of that caliber, the man that he is, it was the right opportunity for me. I knew for me it wouldn't be a lot of pressure, because I would be able to help him a little bit because he hadn't been coaching. And so it was a good first year. And so being in a HBCU environment just kind of opened up that window for me.
And after your conclusion of your first year at Tennessee State University, the Grambling job opens up. What happened? How did those talks come about? You becoming the next head coach of Grambling State, and what went into your decision in accepting that job?
Well, it was Dr. Travion Scott and obviously President Gallo sharing their vision with me, and I thought we were in alignment on the things that we're trying to do. We really want to reshape and rebrand Grambling State University football. Obviously, no one's done it better or greater than Eddie Robinson. He was the best ever at leading the G-Men. But boy, we wanted to go back and maybe not start over, but put our university back where we think we belong, among the elite. And there's a lot of work to do as far as that's concerned. We need to improve facilities. We need to improve other things. But at the same time, their vision is in lockstep with mine. And I think those are the things we're going to do. And we're going to recruit great student athletes.
And let's talk about recruiting, because as soon as you got hired, you hit the road. You were at state championship games. You were, out and about. What is that talent like down there in Louisiana? Not just at the high school level, but some of these guys that may be playing at other schools and looking for different, a place to play at Grambling. What is that talent like down there in the boot?
Well, for me, I just see your eyes light up because you know how much talent is down there. There is a ton. Yeah. You really don't have to go outside the state, but we will. Obviously, I have a relationship a lot of different places, but we need to recruit our home state. We need to plant a flag in the state of Louisiana, and let's go recruit the student athletes here and reclaim what's ours. We understand that we may not have done a great job of doing that in the past, but that's the past. We moved on from that. We're out here. We're going to do everything we can to keep our student athletes home and let them know that Grambling's back and we're here to stay.
Now, for someone like yourself who spent, a lot of your career in the NFL, just what excitement do you get out of recruiting? Going to get a young man, whether it's out of a transfer portal or out of high school, is that a challenging task for you when you were doing a lot of like free agency? And it's different when they're 18 to 21 as opposed to 25 to 30-year-old grown men. What's that like for you?
Jeff, it's really exciting because you're selling your program. I find out something new about Grambling State University every day. And it's all about selling. And I used to enjoy it when I coached in college. I was fortunate enough to recruit 2 Heisman Trophy winners at USC. So, look, I just put that hat back on and go back to work. And we have a lot to sell. I mean, we've had more Hall of Fame players. We have national championships, in black college football. We have the great Eddie G. Robinson that coached at Grambling State University. So we do have a lot to sell on the football side, and we have a lot to sell academically. So why not come to Grambling State University?
Now, is it tough to sell when you haven't played a game yet? Now, obviously, you've coached a bunch of games, but you haven't coached a game in Grambling yet. So, is it tough to sell to a transfer kid or a young man in high school on your vision, knowing that you haven't been able to actually show it on the field yet?
We're Grambling, baby. We don't have to do all that. No, but we do have to sell. There's no doubt. I mean, obviously, you have to sell the brand of football you're going to play offensively, defensively, and special teams. I get a chance to really sell our coaching staff because our coaching staff is special, and we're going to do everything we can to create the right environment for these players to be everything that they can be, not just on the field, but also in the classroom and off the field. And I think that's where it's all at. I mean, again, I think student athletes are choosing places now where they feel comfortable with the coaches and with the environment, and they want to be in spots where these coaches are going to motivate them to help them get to where they want to go.
Once again, we're talking to Coach Hue Jackson of the Grambling State Tigers. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Coach, one thing you've been able to do is go and pull them young men from California. What is that? That is impressive, first of all. I'm going to say, to pull a young man and for him to trust you and your staff to be able to travel across the country and play granted, Grambling is Grambling. That's still a tough sell and something that they really have to trust you in doing. What are your connections in California been like for you, and how do you think that's going to be able to not only impact your team, but impact the SWAC going out and getting young men who play out on the West Coast?
Well, we're gonna do that, and I think we've shown that we can. Obviously, my relationships are still strong in the state of California. I think when you're in California, you mentioned HBCU football. The first name that comes up is Grambling, and it always has been that way. So we need to continue to play on that, and we need to continue to do that even better than what we did it this past year. But I think you combine the state of Louisiana with California, boy, there's going to be some great football players that want to come to school here.
Absolutely, Coach. Now let's talk about playing football. You actually have been with your team for a while, and you went through a spring. What was the spring process like for you, your team, and the players on your team, and kind of figuring things out? What was that like for you?
It was good for me. It was good for me to see them. It was good for them to see me. It was good for them to see our staff and see what the expectation is. I think our players have a better understanding of what we're chasing. We're chasing greatness. We're not just here to be here. We're trying to chase greatness in everything we do, on the football field and in the classroom and off the field, being a good citizen, being a contributing member of the community. I think all those things are very, very important. And I was excited about what we did in the spring, but it also gave me a chance to see where we needed to improve fast. And I'm so excited about the young players that we have coming on this team.
And one of the things that we've seen some roster turnover after the spring, and then that's expected, especially at a program that's continuing to become established. But one thing that I have noticed, covering your team is you're bringing in some QBs, Coach. There is a bunch of competition in that quarterback room. Coach, talk to me about the quarterback position and why it's so important to get the right guy.
Oh, it is major. The last time that Grambling State had a quarterback one, I think Coach Kincaid was the quarterback. To me, that's what's important. We need to have a guy that everybody believes in, not just our football team, but our fans do as well, because that's when it becomes fun. And so you have to do everything you can to make sure you have the right guy on your football team. And in my opinion, you have to recruit him. You have to go recruit him and put him on your team, and then coach him and create the right environment for him, and then great things happen. And we're going to become quarterback you here at Grambling State University. I promise you that.
I love to hear it. Coach. You spoke about your new quarterbacks coach, Coach Kincaid. What was it about Coach Kincaid that made you want to add him to the staff, an already spectacular staff that you have?
It's really amazing. He spoke at a clinic, and I saw myself about 25 years ago in that clinic. He's had so much energy, knowledge, wanting to learn, wanting to grow, wanting to be great at what he does. And boy, why not bring a guy who loves Grambling, played here, know what it's like to win here, and have him be a part of this new culture that we're trying to create.
Absolutely, coach. Absolutely. You've hit the transfer portal hard. You've hit the recruiting scene hard. You talked about having your freshmen on campus. What's that been like getting those new guys on campus? Now you got your new guys, your transfers are all in right now. What's that been like so far? I know it's been recent, but what's it been like?
I am so excited about the group because it's really, along with the other transfers from from the early period. These are our guys. These are our guys that we put our chips on and said that we want them to come to Grambling State University and play for us. They're like all these new shiny little toys, and we get to mold this clay into something special. We've had a chance to meet with them a little bit because that's what the NCAA allows you to do. We've had a chance to be out on the field with them without a ball. So it's been exciting because there's some very, very talented young men in this group.
Now, Coach Jackson, we understand that this is your first season at Grambling, and you had brought in a ton of new pieces from the coaching staff, players, everything in between. What can the fans expect from you and the Tigers this fall? Like, I get it. I mean, we don't want to put a win number or anything on top of it, but
look, they should put a win number on it.
Okay.
We're not here for any other reason. I mean, I didn't come here to just let me figure this out. I came here to win. And when you at Grambling, they expect you to win. Let's just be honest. So
Yeah.
I'm not. I understand my business. I understand what my business is. It's the business of winning. And we have to create the right product to put out there. And I think we have the right pieces. Now we got to go do the work. There's a workings man game, and I think our players understand that. I would think our players would tell you the culture's changing. There's an expectation in everything that we do, and you got to meet that expectation. And nothing's given, everything's earned, and we're gonna find out if these young men are up to the challenge.
Absolutely, coach. Absolutely, coach. Now you're known for offense, right? And obviously in the spring we keep things vanilla. We don't want to show our hand. And you've added some new weapons since the spring game. You added a ton of new weapons. So what's the offense gonna look like, coach? I'm trying to envision it. I want to see it. What's it gonna look like? How are we gonna run it?
Don't leave your seat. That's all I can tell you. Now in the spring, you said it. We were very vanilla. We were gonna let it be what it be, but we're gonna let the good times roll come this season. So I think we got some talent. I'm excited about it. We just gotta again keep working at it. We don't run from the opportunity. We know what's out in front of us. We know what we got to get done. We hear everything that's been said. I see all those rankings and all those good things. We gonna earn the right to be there, and that's what it's got to be. We got to go play big time Grambling State University football.
Absolutely, coach. Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned you see the rankings because you told before just now, you said, hey, they didn't rank Grambling in the top 10 when they spoke about whether SWAC schools, HBCU schools. There was no G-men in the top 10. How did you feel about that when you saw that?
I was pissed. I ain't gonna kid you. I am. I was disappointed because I don't believe you have a top 10 without Grambling. But they do, and that's because we have not held our end of the bargain. There's no doubt. We haven't done what we needed to do. But I think our young men understand it. They've been made aware of what's out there. And so now it's time for us to go show up and show out. That's what we got to do. We got to go play football. And we can't talk about it. We're not going to talk the ball up the field. Nobody's going to slide over and let little old Grambling come walking through. It's not going to work like that. We're going to have to go reclaim what's ours.
Absolutely, coach. Absolutely. Now I have to ask you, as far as when it comes to your young men, what kind of young man are you recruiting? I know you want a future, a really good man and a guy that has the talent enough to play at the National Football League at the next level. But when you're recruiting, are there certain qualities in a young man that you're looking for?
Absolutely. We have a profile.
Oh, Coach Jackson. Looks like we might have lost Coach Hue for a second. Let me see. Once again, we're talking to Coach Hue Jackson of the Grambling State Tigers. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Oh, it looks like we got Coach back. Hey, Coach, we got you.
Yeah, so, Jeff, as you know, we have a profile of the student athlete we're looking for. I believe they both go hand in hand. And the student has to be able to play football. I truly believe that. Because I don't think you can be a great football player and not a very good student. Now, you don't have to be a excellent student. You don't have to be somebody that's a straight A student, but I think it goes all hand in hand because I can't make adjustments in the game if I can't get you to understand these things. I can't create the right game plan if I can't get you to do it. So those things are important, and we have height, weight, speed, those things that we look for in players, and those are the guys we go find. I truly believe that talent doesn't fit everywhere. You know, it might not fit that system, but it might fit somewhere else. So we try to look for G-men that fit what we do, and that's the way we're going to do it from here on in.
Absolutely, absolutely, Coach. Now, I know that you all received some nice donations that were Grambling Day giving. What can the fans or the alumni or whatever at home? First of all, what are some of the things that have been donated to your athletic program, to your football program, and what are some of the things that the fan? How can they get in touch with you to be able to help in any way, shape, or possible?
Let me say this: I am so happy that our alumni is really starting to open up and see and want Grambling to be the new Grambling. And I'm excited about that. And I'll be the first to tell them all that we have to be very transparent at what they give us. We're giving back to them. They have to know where their dollars are going, and they should. And I would promise everybody that if you're giving money to football, you're going to know exactly where those dollars go and what they're spent for, because I think that's very important. The second piece of that, we have received from TVs to financial donations to other things to help our football team. And I'm so grateful and thankful, and it has helped our student athletes. I think they deserve it all. They should, because they are student athletes. The NIL deals that are out there are great, but at the same time, the universities need to do more for their student athletes. And so I would say to anybody who's here, if you guys want to make a donation to our football program, there's links on the website that will go. But the things that I know that are going to be so important to us as we move forward, there's technology out there that would help our student athletes be better equipped, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally, because those things are so important. There's also an opportunity for us to, we have some possible bus ride that could be long. We don't need that. We might be right in the hunt of a championship season where we need to get on a plane instead of taking a long bus ride to Huntsville, and that would make a huge difference. That's 9.5 hours as opposed to being on a plane. I mean, that just doesn't help your football team go win a football game. And then just to be able to be in the right settings from a hotel, nutrition standpoint, there's so many things that I think we all can do better. And I'm trying to do everything I can to create the environment for our student athletes to have everything they need, because I truly believe if you give young men all the resources that they need, they'll give it back to you. I really believe that. And so, yeah, I have several asks. I'll be having an ask coming up here in July of our alumni of something that I want from them, and I'm sure that our alumni will answer the call.
Yes, sir. Yes, they will. Once again, we're talking to Coach Hue Jackson of the Grambling State Tigers football team. Now, Coach, I'll get you out on this. What are some of the things you see as far as whether it's facilities upgrades or anything within your football program that you see taking place in the near future that will continue to benefit the program and that Grambling fans at home can be excited? That's more so off the field. We know what you're going to do on the field. We see the recruiting. We know your resume, and we're still looking forward to that. But what are some of the things off the field that we can expect from the Grambling football team as far as upgrades and things like that?
I think you can expect the Eddie G. Robinson facility to go have an overhaul. I think that you can expect the Players Lounge to be there at some point in time. I think you can expect some new fields. I think you can expect a new looking opportunity for the young men that are going to come after this group right here. It's going to be different. I do not want to be here if it wasn't going to be different, because I came here to bring different.
Absolutely. Hey, well, Coach Jackson, I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your day for speaking to me once again. We're talking to head coach of the Grambling State Football Tigers, the Coach Hue Jackson. Coach, thank you so much, and good luck to your season. We're going to keep tabs on your – hey, when you're doing good, we're going to praise you. If we think some adjustments going to be made, it's just fair criticism. I'm going to just let it be known.
Hey, look, Jeff, you can be as hard as you want to be, but all I ask is when we doing what I think we're going to do, you be dang good too now.
Hey, okay? Absolutely. I built some relationship with some of your players. I'm rooting the best for you and your team.
Thank you.
Coach Jackson, thank you so much. Thank you once again for spending some time with me. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. This is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel, and we will see you next time. Peace.